Gold participants from around the world. I'm Fleur Bickford, Program Director and MC for Gold Learning. I'm chatting today with Kiddada Green about her upcoming presentation for Gold Lactation 2017 titled A Community of Breastfeeding. So Kiddada, welcome. Thank you for being with us today.
Wow, thank you. I'm absolutely happy to be here and before the guests who are viewing this presentation.
Well, we are thrilled to have you with us, and I'm really excited about your presentation. So perhaps you can tell our delegates, first of all, a little bit about yourself and also why this topic is so important to you.
I'm Kadada Green and I am a mother of two beautiful breastfed children. Both were breastfed for one for 15 months and one for 24 months. And my love and desire for this work, I think, preceded the birth of my children. Breastfeeding, for some reason, has always intrigued me. I would listen to breastfeeding stories. I have a best friend who nursed my godson for more than a year, and I would have to say that she was the closest person in my life who breastfed her child. I happen to be from a family of five. Unfortunately, due to circumstances, I'm sure that were beyond my mother's individual choice, we were not breastfed. And I had my first child, who was my mother's 12th grandchild at the time, and it was the second child to be breastfed. And so this topic, this nurturing experience has just really always grasped my interest. So I like to say that this work for me started with the birth of my daughter, which was 10 years ago now, but the interest for this work actually started before that. I remember looking at my best friend and just watching her nurse, and I was just really in awe with the relationship that was forming between my godchild and his mother. So I think, the question of why the topic is important for me, I really can see what that nurturing experience does for the mother and for the child. And for that reason, I embarked upon this journey to make breastfeeding a community experience.
Okay, I love the story of, the fact that your interest began from watching your godson being nursed. And I think that's just, it's such a lovely story. And I think it's a really important point because a lot of us these days don't have that, do we? We don't, a lot of us grow up never having seen anyone breastfeed. And I know that was certainly the case for me. I was the first in my family to breastfeed. I had just never really seen it. And I think that's true for a lot of us. And I think that's, it's a problem because a lot of us just haven't seen it before. It's, very foreign to a lot of us. So thank you so much for sharing that. Now, I know that you do a lot of work in advocacy and helping people build community and all of that kind of stuff. And of course, that's a big part of what you're going to be talking about during this presentation. I'm curious, what areas of advocacy do you feel need the most attention right now? Where are we really lacking when it comes to building community and, providing support for breastfeeding families?
So I would say that there are, of course, many areas of advocacy that we can improve on. Two areas that I think of are importance to me is paid maternity leave,
Hmm.
because that allows the mother and the baby the time that they actually need to build this relationship. But I also think that reimbursement for peer breastfeeding support services is of great importance because that is the service that's most available to women in the community. It's the most accessible service. And so I think that we really need to look at how we are reimbursing or not reimbursing for that peer breastfeeding support. And so those are areas, or some refer to it as community health workers. So if we look at it in a broad sense of community health work and breastfeeding peer counselors, breaking those social cultural barriers, having that intimate relationship, um, and really being able to connect with the mom and provide her with that immediate care that she needs. I think those are definitely some areas needed for attention as it relates to advocacy.
Yeah, really great points. Thank you so much for that. So as we finish up here, perhaps you can just tell us a little bit about what do you hope the gold delegates will be able to take away from your presentation and back to their own practices and communities.
So it's really important for me that people understand that the decision for breastfeeding is not the sole responsibility of the individual who had the child. I think it's really important that we provide a community approach to supporting mothers in their infant feeding choice. And so it's important for me that delegates take away from this presentation the responsibility that they have to ensure that all of our babies are breastfed.
Okay, wonderful, Kiddada. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure chatting with you today, and of course, really looking forward to your presentation. So thank you. For our,
Great, Flora. Thanks for having
oh,
me.
we're always thrilled to have you with us, Kiddada. For our delegates, you can hear more from Kiddada Green during her live presentation on April 11th. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening, and have a wonderful day.